Vishnu Jain ji is with us, Amit Thadani is with us, Vivek Srivastava is with us. Vishnu Jain ji, how would you see this aspect and these documents that we have accessed? They throw to light certain very startling developments. Has the CBI forgotten or not cross-checked this? The two sisters said we tied Rakhi, but the two sisters in this statement also say they have no photographic evidence. So what does that imply? They have no photographic evidence that they did tie Rakhi that day.
See, Anand, this is a case which is full with material contradictions. In criminal law, the basic principle is that a person is presumed to be innocent unless proved guilty. But in this case, as you mentioned, the complete story, and I would add to that story, there is something more interesting to the story which you have told. There is one witness named Sanjay Sadvilkar. He was a silversmith, and he accepts in his testimony that he had enmity with Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti, and it is on testimony of this person that Dr. Tavade was arrested. That is point number one. Point number two, very interesting name you had taken of the another witness, which is Mr. Kiran Kamble.
Kiran Keshav Kamble.
He accepts in his testimony that he was suffering from memory loss. Very interestingly, in such a case, the most important thing is that you need to have a test identification parade. In this case, admittedly, no test identification parade was done. The other very interesting story is, Anand, you will be shocked to know, and this has never happened in Indian legal history. Our advocate Sanjeev Punalekar was arrested in this case in 2019 on a confessional statement of Mr. Sharad Kalaskar. And you know what the story is? The investigating agencies say they have a version that the accused told them that the pistol which was used in this crime is thrown in a creek which merges with the ocean. So the Bombay High Court monitored this investigation. You will be shocked to know that an agency from Dubai was hired to find out that pistol, and the version was that he has dismantled the pistol and he has thrown it in the creek. You will be shocked to know that after 6 years of this incident, the if you can call them the divers, they went into the creek, and after 5 or 6 years, they find an air gun from the creek. So this is the level of contradiction, this is the level of mockery which has been done in this criminal trial. And let me buttress my submissions. In this case, Anand, the most important thing is that there needs to be a sanction under the UAPA by the central government, because this matter has been investigated by the CBI. You will be shocked to know of section 45 of the UAPA Act, without a valid sanction, this entire trial proceeded in violation of the provisions of section 45 of the UAPA. So whatever you are highlighting today, there are contradictions, and my dear friend Mr. Amit Thadani has written a wonderful book, and I must say that this is a fit case where nationalists have been framed by rationalists without any case, on the basis of fake theory, on the basis of a narrative that you have no proof, no witness has named any of the accused. There is no eyewitness to this incident who has named us the accused, and then you frame us, and then we have to suffer trial. So I think the truth and justice will come out on 10th of May. We are waiting for it. But the fact of the matter is that this case is a story in itself.
Vishnuji, let me just ask you, my legal understanding is a little limited, but this is the document of Kiran Keshav Kamble. I hope you have perused this too, and you are talking about the statement. What this says is, in pursuance of the order passed by Honorable Chief Judicial Magistrate Tribunal 16/4/2019 on application of CBI, Additional Superintendent of Police CBI, the witnesses answer as per section 164S Code of Criminal Procedure. So it is recorded under 164 CRPC. Interesting part, I don't know if it has any legal consequence. And at the back of it, it is also signed Kiran Kamble and also M.K. Patil. 2-3 things that stood out to me. In the second page of this conversation, it says page number 84 because it's also attached to a lot of the documents that have been provided of various witnesses' testimonies, ladies and gentlemen. He says, the day I had finished work and fell on the divider Omkareshwar bridge because I was high on sugar. there was a tree where Meera Chakate was working. At that time, my face was towards Shankara's temple. This is at 6:30 a.m. for cleaning. Meera Chakale was also working there. At that time, two boys came in a passion bike. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong in this statement where they say, and please see this, ladies and gentlemen, if you can come zoom in on this. He is saying that he was high on sugar, right? What does he say? He was high on sugar. This is the statement that's recorded. The next page, point number 5, please note. He says, I went to drink tea because my sugar was low. Now, this is all within 45 minutes of what has happened there. Is it possible for somebody to faint because their blood sugar was high and within some time again go back and have tea because their sugar was low? I do not understand medicine. I do not understand. We'll try and connect with Vishnu Jain, but Amit Thadani, what would you say to that? The other part, what he is saying is that I did not recognize, but the police cops asked me to sign on a photo and I did. I did not recognize Sachin Andure, but they asked me to sign this photo 5 years later, and I did. He says that. He says, I was shown photos of two persons and they asked me to see. I had told police I had seen the photo of one of the person killing Narendra Dabholkar. I identified the person in the photo before the police. I learned cops that he was Sharat Kalaskar. Then he says, I did not see the second person photo killing Narendra Dabholkar. I learned from the cops that the person was Andure. At that time, the police had written a text behind both the said photos. I read it and put my signature on both the photos and date behind the photos. He is saying it here in point number 12 that I signed on a photo without recognizing the person, but the cops had written a note there and that is why I signed on it. This is point number 12. So two things. Within 45 minutes, he fainted because he's high on sugar, and then he had tea because he was low on sugar. Amit Thadani.
Yes, good evening, Anand. This is one very peculiar case where the same witnesses, Kiran Kamble has, of course, in this case, allegedly identified Kalaskar and not even identified Andure as, not even a definitive statement that these were the killers or that these could be the murderers. But that's not the only thing, Who was named in the first charge sheet? If you realize, the persons named in the first charge sheet were two completely different people, right?
Yes.
And before that, the people who were arrested with the weapons, where there is a forensic match on record with the Kalina FSL lab, the forensic lab report is there as having recovered the weapons. They were arrested on the same day as Dabholkar's murder, right? Khandelwal and Madhuri were the two people who were history sheeters who were arrested on the day of Dabholkar's murder, and the weapons recovered from them were forensically matched. Now, if the weapons are already in CBI custody, which weapons did Kalaskar dispose of and from where did he procure them? And how did he get the weapons out of CBI custody, take them, murder allegedly the other people, and then throw the weapons back into CBI?
Govind Pansare and Gauri Lankesh.
Yes, so allegedly the story is that the weapons, were used in those murders. How did the weapon come out of CBI custody? Because you already have a forensic report matching it, right? Now, that's not all. The second set of people, Sarang Akulkar, Vinay Pawar, were also identified as likely the killers with the same witness. So, how did they identify a separate set of people during this time? It's a question worth asking, isn't it? If these people have identified another person based on the photographs, and now 2 years later they are identifying two different people on the basis of photographs, while the witnesses are available for a parade identification. What was the purpose of this? Why would anybody do this? So there are lots of questions like this which need to be asked of the investigating agencies in these cases. These matters are extremely dubious.